You gotta be kidding me, man. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kevin over at jkevinjohnson.com here. One more time, just wanted to give you some words of encouragement, edutainment, and inspiration to help you along the way in your journey called life. Today, I'm going to be focusing on if God values you, then you should too. And just talking about the body temple as sacred space. What's gotten me on this topic, what's gotten me in this line of thought was in chapter 43 of the book Unseen Realm by Michael Heiser. I've read it once, and I often go back through it just because to me it's just a good book that kind of breaks down how the unseen realm is organized and how it is populated with so many different various species, I guess you could say. Just like this world, there's not just one species, and just there's a whole variety of life on this planet. And just looking at the unseen realm, there's a whole variety of life and organization and regions and things with respect to the unseen realm. And in one of the chapters, chapter 43, Michael Heiser talks about the body temple, our bodies being temples, being vessels, being sacred space for the Holy Spirit to indwell. That means being a space in which the Holy Spirit, the creator of the universe, comes and indwells in each and every one of his creations. Should you allow him to. There are obligations and standards that must be met in order for this relationship to remain intact. But it is true that our bodies are vessels. Our bodies are receptacles for the Creator himself. And the body is sacred space, so you should value yourself. I just want to encourage you to know that you are precious, you are valuable, and you are more fought over than just anything on this planet, anything in existence. You are fought over. Your body temple is territory that is always there is always a battle going on for occupation of your mind, for occupation of your hearts and your emotional life, for occupation of your physical body, believe it or not. So that's what's got me on this train of thought. Lately, the last couple of days, I've been thinking real hard and heavy about fitness. And when I talk about fitness, I'm just not talking about physically fit. I'm talking, I often go over the nine and multiple other ways in which you could be physically fit. And so I'm just not talking about physically, but I'm talking about your emotional life, your mental life, your relationships, your wallet. I'm talking about your spiritual walk. I'm talking about fitness just in about every way that you can think of, that you should be fit and ready to live a life of abundance, a life of joy and happiness and peace, and also a life of work and a life of readiness to do whatever the will of the Father is for your life. So that's what's got me on this line of thought today. And if God values you that much, if the enemy, your adversary, if he values you that much in order to even go to war battle over your body, your physical body, and then also your mind, your emotional state, and then which affects your will, whose will you allow to influence in your life as far as your behavior and what you actually do with your hands and with your life. So let me slow down for a minute. Talking about sacred space, your body as sacred space. All right, I had to slow down for a minute. I'm kind of standing up, and I'm standing up, so I'm a little more animated right now. So, one of the reasons why this theme or motif keeps reoccurring in my life, as far as just being fit and healthy and faithful, is that early on in my life, in my mid-20s, as I've often talked about and spoke about, my story is, I used to be, before in my mid-20s, I went through a health crisis. And in my journey out of this health crisis, one of the things that became prevalent or became clear to me was, with respect to Christians and with respect to the called out, we aren't as healthy as we should. I believe that we should be, and that we're meant to be, given all the instructions and all the things that's spoken to about your health and being fit in just about every way, shape, or form. We're not demonstrating that to the betterment of our best of our ability, I don't think. And I was just thinking about, just looking at my local congregation, I was just looking at how, like, a lot of the young people are dealing with issues like diabetes and issues like arthritis and issues like not being very mobile, issues like cancer, issues like infertility, young couples being infertile, and so there's a whole range of depression, bitterness, anger. These aren't. That's not part of being physically. That's not part of fitness. Having fractured hearts and having minds that aren't really thinking clearly or aren't very imaginative as they could be, or I see some people who aren't really exhibiting the intelligence and genius that the potential speaks about, because I chose to spend time elsewhere and allow things to confuse and saturate my mind, and wasn't making connections that were obvious and things of that nature. And then just looking at the physical fitness level of the people, it's not overall. It's just we're C plus, D plus, maybe some B's and A's in there somewhere. But we need to raise the standard. We need to raise the bar. So that's why I continue to harp on this. And I will continue to plant my flag right here for a long time. And I'll just keep prompting and promoting you out there to do the best that you can. And wherever you may find this podcast reaching you to, do your best to turn that ship around and get it sailing in good waters. Or if it is good in good waters, sailing in the right direction, that I just motivate and inspire you to keep it going. Because life is too short, and you want to make sure that you're squeezing every ounce of life and joy that you can out of it, living your life, enjoying the present, but also doing the will of the Father on the battlefield of faith, fulfilling your calling and making your election sure, as well as meeting your obligations, putting food in your stomach. So that's one of the things that keeps me on this topic. And then some other things that just kind of always keeps me in this way, and making sure that you realize that you are a sacred space, you are valuable, and you need to do whatever you have to in order to maintain and keep yourself fit in every way, shape, or form. Is that the Creator values you and the adversary values you, in that he seeks to occupy your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit. He seeks to occupy your body and make it unsacred, make it secular, make it defiled, so to speak. He wants to break you down, all the way down. He wants to sift you as wheat, in his words. He's walking about the earth to and fro, seeing what he can get into. So that's number 2. And then number 3, just in a practical, realistic, everyday, normal living type of thing. So one of the observations that I made, given a lot, with respect to a lot of occupations and jobs that I've held, I've often found myself privy to a lot of areas that I guess the general public really isn't privy to, as far as with respect to like universities and businesses and stuff. So I see a lot. And one of the things I've noticed is the illness and the sickness and just the overall health of the general public isn't what it could be. The masses just aren't doing as well as they could be. And then, just looking at TV and just being a culture watcher, pop culture watcher in general, it's just, for me, it's just over the top cartoonish level with respect of how things are, with respect to a lot of the commercials that I see about pharmaceutical drugs, and looking at the culture around me, and how a lot of people that I come in contact with are on prescribed medication for moods and emotional conditions. It's getting out of hand. To be blunt about it, or to be just kind of let loose on things. I do go a lot because I try to mince words, and I guess I should stop mincing words and just be real about it. And that it's getting out of hand. Just keeping up with some other current events that's affecting our health and our mind, our will, and emotions is the growth of genetically modified organisms. You want to do some research on that. The growth of gene splitting and gene splicing and gene editing, and that now we're in an era in which the human body at the DNA level is now being tinkered with heavily. We have the ability to modify weather. We have the ability to modify food. And now we're working on perfecting our ability to gene edit and modify the human being, period. So just looking at that, these are things you want to keep in mind and keep at the forefront of your thoughts when you're talking about your body being sacred space. Do you really want to be tinkering with this body temple in the way that we are, without any conversation or without any discussion in the general public arena? Looking at the biotech industry too, and looking at other segments or other genres of it, like transhumanism, the transition or man taking possession of his transformation. Just speaking to transhumanism, man taking possession of his evolution. That's what transhumanism is about. Looking at some of the leading talkers and leading thinkers in this area. AI, we got AI coming on the scene pretty strong and heavy. So these are things we want to be mindful of and cognizant of, and that, and as we're encouraged to take care of our bodies, our spirits, and our souls, given that we are imagers, we are made in the image of the Creator, and that you are valuable and precious, and that you should do all you can to maintain and keep your body temple sacred for the indwelling, for the relationship, the connected relationship with the Father. So I just wanted to spend a little time to encourage you in that direction. Let me give you a few verses to kind of send you along your way. Let me give you a few verses. 1 Corinthians 6:19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which you have of God, and ye are not your own? For you are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. So when you cross over Hebrew, when you step across that line, when you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you no longer belong to yourself. You can't do anything you want to do with this body. You belong to the Creator, and He has obligations and standards when it comes to how He like His temple to be. So these are things you got to learn about. The way He likes His temple is a certain way. He's got standards. You got standards, right? You got standards on who gets to see your body. You got standards on who gets to enter your temple and see your temple and look around your temple, right? You got to pay to play. There's certain standards that goes on. I would hope anyway that you got some standards, and so likewise the Creator has some standards too. So He wants you to be aware that your body is a temple. It's meant for indwelling. That's what a temple is. So that was 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. Let me go to 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. Here I come. It's right here. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple are ye are. So, just again, just want to reiterate that we have to be mindful of our bodies, our physical bodies, as well as every other aspect of our being, that we are to be mindful of what we do and how we do, and we should take care of it and maintain it as if it's a Bugatti. You only get one body, so you got to take care of it like it's a Bugatti, because that's what it is. This is a magnificent piece of artwork. Your body is a magnificent piece of artwork, whether you believe it or not. Well, you may say, Kevin, I got these rows here, I got these crinkles here, I got these, veins here, that, and the other. This ain't doing what it's supposed to be. It don't matter. If God created you, you are made in His image, and He likes everybody to be different. He doesn't want everybody to be the same. He didn't make everybody to be cutouts or bricks. He likes unique stones. He likes unique stones. He likes this stone over here look like this. He likes uncut stones. The adversary likes bricks. He likes everything to be the same. He don't like nothing to be. He likes everything to be exactly cut out, carbon copy. God doesn't. God likes variety. He likes uniqueness. He likes specialness. So He wants His temple to be made of uncut stones. I don't believe you, Kevin. Well, let's go to 2 Corinthians 6:16. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 6:16. If this is it. If it ain't, I'll keep going until I find what I wanted to find. 2 Corinthians 6:16. And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God, as God hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. So we have God here saying that when believers come together, we form a temple, that we form a bigger temple, like Transformers. We're good uncut stones that are indwelled by His Spirit. But when we get together, 2 or 3 or more, that he indwells all of us as a bigger temple. So we small temples that combined into big temples. Does that make sense? Let's go to Ephesians 2:21 through 22. Ephesians 2:21 through 22. Ephesians 2:21 through 22. Just give me some words of encouragement. In whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of God through the Spirit. So I just wanted to reiterate that you are precious. You are a temple by yourself, and then when you come into fellowship with other believers, you become a bigger temple, and power exponentially grows. So I just wanted to take a few moments to push you and encourage you to really do what you can do to take care of yourself in whatever way, fashion, shape, form that you can. Wherever this podcast, this message finds you, you can do it. It's possible. You have to do it. You got people dependent on you. You have loved ones. You have your spouse. You have just life, just for you to enjoy your life as much as you can. So just take the reins of life and enjoy it. You got work to do, hard work, but you can play hard too. You got to play. So real quickly, I'm going to talk about 7 quick principles or 7 quick strategies or tactics that you can implement to make this happen. And this is one of the things that I continue to do, and one of the things that I make a high priority in my life, because I cannot afford I am not allowed to physically get sick. I am not allowed to walk around with the heart that is broken. I am not allowed, body, I am not allowed to walk around with the mind that is not creative and imaginative and that does not wield sober logic. Does that make sense? Tell yourself, hey, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to get sick. I'm not allowed to allow fear to rule my heart. I'm not allowed to think unclearly. I have to practice until I get it right. And I'm not allowed to not have courage in the gut, in the will. I must wield courage in the gut and move in the face of fear. Does that make sense? Debt, I got to learn I'm not allowed to be in debt, or I'm not allowed to be at the mercy of debt. Let's put it that way, because I'm not allowed to be at the mercy of debt. Talking about your wallet, I have to be a self-educating machine, sentient being. Am I making sense? If not, just let me know. Talking about if God values you, then you should too. Your body is a temple. You are sacred space meant for the indwelling of the creator of the universe through relationship with his son, Jesus Christ. Does that make sense? And in doing so, you are to take care of your body temple and be fit, not only in your body temple, but in every other endeavor as well. 7 principles. Eat real food. Eat farm to fresh food. Farm to table food as much as possible. Number 2, exercise. Push-ups, pull-ups, squats, leg presses, cardio, boxing, MMA, cycling, swimming, exercise. Find some way to move, walking. Find some way to exercise and move this body around. Number 3, supplement. A good multivitamin, a good fish oil, good powder, superfoods powder, some nootropics, which is using food as a drug, using food as drugs, herbs as drug, adaptogenic herbs. Over time and over the course of the podcast, I'll go more into explanation and detail about a lot of these things I'm throwing at you. But again, I just want to do broad brush paintings of these terms and ideas, so just to get your mind prepped for even thinking this way. Number 5, supplements. Number 4, reduce toxicity. That's looking at your health and beauty products. That's looking at your cookware products. That's looking at your hygiene products. That's looking at your water, what you drink and storage, and looking at people. Reducing toxicity. Number 5, prayer and purpose. You want to make sure you develop some kind of relationship with the Creator. Even if you're atheist, I don't know, become an agnostic. Just start talking like, hey, if you are real, then that's this, that, and the other. If you're not, then I'm just, talking to myself. But just keep on talking. Something may happen. Prayer and purpose. Number 5, talk to the Creator and cast your cares on Him. Ask Him for help. Speak to Him. He'll speak back to you. One day He may surprise you. You never know. Number 6, proactive versus reactive care. Meaning you just don't want to wait till something happens, but you want to incorporate proactive practices like getting some good solid sleep, sleeping with the circadian rhythm, sleeping with the sun cycle, getting some good power naps in if you got to, doing whatever you got to do to get that good sleep in for hormonal reset, just to feel good. Massage therapy. Ain't nothing like having stress needed out of those muscles and having stress just needed out of your body and being massaged. Touch is good. Touch is healthy and touch is therapeutic. Writing is a proactive practice of letting go and detoxifying your heart and your mind on a regular basis, help you articulate and crystallize some thoughts, but also helps you release some emotions. I was listening to a audio book, talking about Captivate by Vanessa Van Edwards. She talked about a story of somebody who started a website and wrote a book built around secrets, and asking for people to write in their secrets anonymously. And he wasn't expecting much about it, but it turned out to be like one of the biggest things. And what they found was that it is freeing when you write out something. When you write something on paper, it is freeing. And this is a practice that I've incorporated and I continue to incorporate as far as helping me bring my heart back into wholeness, and letting go of past hurts and trauma. Let's see, what's the other one? Oh, alone time, meditation, contemplation time. You got to get that alone time and get quiet and get into a deep thought. This is hard to do these days. I read a book. What was that book? Deep something by Cal Ripken, I want to say. Deep Mind, I think. And he talks about not being on the internet and not being on social media, and how where things are moving today, and how we're living in a world of distraction, which is shortening our attention span and shortening our ability to think deeply about things. So this is very important, part of the human condition. Sports. I put sports on here because sports help you alleviate some aggressive emotions. It helps you. It helps you relieve some tension. It helps you play. It helps you have adventure. It helps you in a lot of areas. Educate yourself is part of being proactive, and then putting on good clothes. I put that down as far as being proactive. We won't go into that too much, but later on I'll go into it, just talking about good clothes, good linen, good fashion, how it makes you feel, and how it affects you physically as far as hormonal interactions and stuff on that lines. And then relationships, number 7. You want to take a look at your relationships and cultivate an inner circle with high priority, because that inner circle will influence you in just about every area of your life. They help formulate and condition and cultivate a culture and an environment that will shape your behavior. So you want to look at your relationships. So this is all I have for today. I just wanted to spend a few moments just to encourage you today to value yourself, because the Creator values you. Also, the adversary values you too. He values you so he can capture you and devalue you as fast as possible. And then just looking at current events and the way we're going, that you have to be mindful and aware of a lot of things that's taking place with regard to the current world that we live in, and be cognizant of it so you can make some good, wise decisions with understanding, so that you can live a life of peace, love, and tranquility and serenity and joy and love and happiness, while able and ready to do the things that you need to do to stay on the battlefield of faith, the battlefield of spiritual warfare, and maybe even physical warfare for some of us if we're soldiers or whatever, to be ready, to be fit, happy and healthy, and faithful. So this is Kevin over at jkevinjohnson.com. Hit like, hit share. Let me know what you think. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I'm all over the place. So thanks for joining me. Love you. May his face shine on you and give you peace, and lift up his name on you.